Satnam, Sunderta here, and just want to take a little time with you to go through this cat-cow posture, review this cat-cow posture. So again, this is our opportunity to spend a little more time with these asanas, these postures that we always experience in our kriyas in Kundalini yoga. And it's just a little opportunity to maybe refine a bit more and be more conscious in how these individual postures work. So cat-cow is something I find that's a really nice warm-up. It's a nice posture that you can do just on its own. It could be a nice part of your wake-up routine. It could also be something you use to unwind at the end of the day. And we're working a lot with the neck and the shoulder area and moving the spine. So we're working the spinal fluid that connects up into the brain, right? And also we're activating a little bit, moving with the hips and the navel. So we have the digestive and all these centers being stimulated as well. So, same as everything in our practice, so many things are interconnected. It's not like there's one thing that we're really focused on. There's so many things that we're working with, and that's the beauty of all these things that we do. Okay, so let's just come. I usually like to come sitting first on my knees and my heels. And we're going to then come onto all fours, just like the cat and the cow, the animal world. Some of the animal world goes on 4 limbs. So when I do this, some of the key points are, you want to make sure that your knees are at least hip-width apart, okay? Some people tend to have their knees together, but we don't want that. We want to be more grounded and solid, sort of connecting with the hips here, directly over the hips. The same thing with the hands. Your hands are coming directly over below the shoulders. The wrists is below the shoulders. So I'm getting this nice straight line here in my hands. My feet are flat. Okay, some people have a habit of flexing the toes, but we actually want to be on the tops of the feet. Okay, and then the fingers, we want the fingers open wide. That's kind of balancing the pressure that's on those hands. And we want the arms straight but not locked. Okay, and the feeling when we start with that cow posture, with the head up slightly. It's like you're drawing the energy from the navel and you're trying to make the upper back and the neck area long and wide. So it's going to start to open that neck area. Sometimes doing this, we may feel a little weaker in certain parts of the body, like the shoulders, and we tend to do this. We collapse the shoulders, okay? So be aware of that. If we can, we're pushing up a little bit. You're drawing that energy and getting that lift up. So this area of the neck and the shoulders is nice and open. You feel it as wide and long, okay? So I'm setting my intention with those areas. And then I add the breath when I want to begin the movement, adding the prana, awareness of the prana. So I'm inhaling, and the head gently comes up as I'm drawing that energy from the navel. As I exhale, it's that chin to the chest, nose down. I'm pulling the pelvis in slightly and exhaling completely. That's my cat. And coming back into the cow. Working the polarity and exhaling into the cat again, flexing that C curve as my spine rolls up. And some spines are more flexible than others, so this could look very different in 2 different people practicing beside each other, right? So that's okay. You just do whatever you can, and you just visualize, this body opening up and coming into those forms, those shapes, those angles. Follow the breath. And especially if it's one of the first things you're doing in your practice, especially if it's in the morning, you'll begin slower. But as you feel ready, this is a nice posture to build some rhythm. And sometimes when we start to add more rhythm, a little more momentum, we get more focused on the destination, on the beginning and the ending of the breath. But I'm going to encourage you and try to inspire you to really feel the flow, to feel every part of the breath and every part of the movement. More of that awareness of the completion, the wholeness, the flow. Less focused on the destination. Enjoy the ride. Last few seconds. If you wanted to, last few seconds, you could add a breath of fire, but keep the rhythm going. Sometimes we see that in kriyas. Now I'm going to inhale as my head comes back up into cow. And exhale. I'm going to stay in the posture gently, but relax the breath. Remember to always take those few seconds to transition when you're releasing from a posture. And then I'll kindly sit down and return to sitting on my knees and my heels for a moment. Okay, and just sense how you feel. I think that was maybe about 1.5, 2 minutes. You could, develop that a little bit longer each day with just one posture. And then if you wanted to work a little bit more deeply, let's do a variation of cat-cow that we often see in our kriyas. So I'm going to come into the same form, try to ground. My knees are hip-width apart again, my feet are flat, my fingers are open wide, opening my shoulder and neck area, arms long but not locked. Okay, so this variation, I'm going to bring my one leg straight. I'm going to gently bring my head up. To do this, we require a bit more strength and balance, okay? So you might find now when you start to do this, you're starting to collapse the shoulders. So you just, again, I'd say, less is more, and do what you can in good form. If you need to stop and take a rest and then begin again, right? Learn to know where you're at in the moment. That's part of our experience of awareness and consciousness, and supporting yourself accordingly. So here I am, this is the inhale, and then I'm going to exhale, the nose comes to the knee, and then I'm going to inhale up again. So this is the movement, inhaling as I expand up, and exhaling as I release down. And inhale up. That moment of expansion. Exhale, bring the knee down. Relax the breath. If you needed to, you could sit on your heels for a moment, but sit consciously. I'm going to go right into the other side. I'm going to do my other leg now. Balance the other side. So I'm extending that leg. Head stays up, open shoulders. This is the inhale of my cow. I'm exhaling down into my cat. And again, first few movements a little slower. As I feel ready, I can build momentum. Making this my last one, inhaling up, exhaling, bringing the knee down, and then I'm going to sit back for a moment again. And if you'd like to, we'll just do a little stretch forward. We can bring our head down for a moment in baby pose. This is a relaxation posture. And then I'm gently going to bring myself up and relax. Okay, so that was our cat-cow. And when we added that baby pose at the end just to relax a little bit because the cat-cow was getting quite energetic. So sometimes when you're working in your kriyas and you see the kriyas, and we might have this cat-cow in the kriya or that variation, if you don't need to, don't add any other postures. When we follow these kriyas, we try to do them exactly as written as best we can, yeah? But here today, because we were just doing this, I decided to add in that little rest. Rest, remember, and relaxation is a very important part of our practice. Once we've stimulated all these systems, all the glandular nervous system and things, and working with different parts of ourselves, it's that capacity to deeply relax that really lets it all do what it needs to do. Okay, so there's some basics, reminders about cat-cow. I really encourage you to do it every day. If this is the only thing that you do, just take 5 to 10 minutes out of your day with yourself and bring your body and your mind into some flow and some form. Okay, we'll see you soon. Sat Nam. Sat Nam.